joined by a number of district heads as the collectors and district magistrates. So I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Sangram Keshri Mohapatra, Collector and District Magistrate from Jagat Singhpur, Dr. Ajit Kumar Mishra, Collector and District Magistrate, District Administration. We have Mr. Vivek Bhimanwar, Collector and District Magistrate joining us from Wardha, and Mr. Avinash Krishan Singh, District Magistrate from Sambhal. So gentlemen, the discussion primarily stays around as to what has been the response to COVID from your respective districts, and focusing on the key challenges faced, the solutions implemented, and what is the further impetus being given to the digitalization post-COVID. Because what we have heard since morning from different quarters, different stakeholders, they have made their respective efforts across all these three areas. And they have kind of prepared quite well for times to come, even though whatever goes, whether right or wrong, but the delivery is not going to suffer. Whether this is the services or otherwise, people, the supply chains, the medical services, and employment, so on and so forth. So I invite first Mr. Sangram Keshri Mohapatra to tell us on the challenges, solutions, and the life post-COVID.
Good afternoon, sir. I am joining us from Jagat Singhpur. I must say that for last 4.5 months, it has been really a tough challenge. And till now, we have been quite successful in handling it. As you know that our district is having one of the deepest ports of India, Paradip Port. Also having the largest refinery, it's IOCL. Also having the largest fertilizer plant, it's the IFCO. And also having the largest edible oil factory, it's Adani Wilmar. And also having one of the largest sponge iron plant, it is ArcelorMittal. So this is one side of the district. Another side is one of the largest paddy producer of the state, also the largest milk producer of the state. So you could visualize the number of workforce from the outside state, like throughout India and also inside our district, has been quite huge. And besides that, it is the #1 literate district of the state, is having the 90% literacy. So I must say that till now, for last 120 days, whenever the case was detected in the country, till now, not for a single day, any of the industries was closed. This is our greatest achievement. I can say that because these are all the lifeline of our country. We ensure that none of the industries is closed, be it refinery, be it port, be it fertilizer, be it edible oil. So that we stand our head high, that we could maintain the country's lifeline with flying colors. That is our biggest achievement, we could say. The strategy was that from the day one, before the case broke out in the country, and whenever the case was detected in China, we took the step from that day. We asked the port chairman that any ship which is coming from China, Singapore, Australia, Italy, so all these ships should be quarantined inside the Bay of Bengal, and within 24 days, no ship should be allowed to cargo off on the Paradip coast. And whoever was having any sort of ILA and SARI cases, we used to send our tug inside the bay. We used to carry those patients and send it through a dedicated ambulance to the hospitals at Cuttack and also at Jagat Singhpur district headquarters. But luckily, none of those cases turned out to be COVID positive. The second strategy that we did, that whenever there was a movement of the laborers, because most of the migrant laborers were started moving, but we made it a point that it's all the laborers who were working. Am I audible?
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Yes, okay. So all the migrant around 4 to 5,000 labor force were working at Paradip. So we ensured that out of these 4,000 laborers which are working, no one should move. Hardly, I think, around 500 to 600 moved for their family pressure, but almost all stayed back. And we provided them all the facilities inside the industrial area of those clusters. And till now also, we have our major focus has been on Paradip. We have been able to establish a dedicated COVID hospital at Paradip, so that any of the positive patients which has been detected inside those areas could be immediately shifted to Paradip. And we have also made a dedicated COVID care center at Paradip, having 300 bed capacity, so that the patients can be also accommodated there. And we have also tied up, we have said the IOCL and other big ticket plants that they should tie up with the government approved agencies for testing. Like every day we are conducting around 200 tests there, but we also said that you should also have 200 plus tests for your own employees, so that as much as test could happen in those areas, we could track them and we could also isolate them. And we'll also prevail upon them to have a dedicated COVID care center inside of those all industrial areas. Like IOCL is having its own, Paradip Port is having his own, IFCO is having his own COVID care center. So all such things, so that any of the patients who are having, so they are accommodated there. This is one of the key strategies that we have followed, and we have been successful in handling it. Paradip is till date is only having 80 number of positive cases still detected in those Paradip industrial clusters, and out of that 60 have been recovered, 20 are till date active cases. But around we have made testing of around 1500 plus testing of those industrial workforce, which is almost 40% of the people who are working there. It's really it's an achievement that we could say. Then coming to the other part of the district, as you know, we made 405 quarantine centers. We have 198 GPs. So as per the policies of our government, so in each GP we found around 2 number of quarantine centers, what we call as temporary medical camps, where any of the migrant laborers come from outside state could stay there for 14 days. So to our district, around 25,000 people have come from 14 states of India, including all hotspot states at that time, from Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat. So also states the people have come. And we have made a very nice strategy that anyone who would be coming would be reporting at one place. So in a district headquarters, we have identified one dedicated team of young officers and officials with all database. So anyone and only our vehicle were going and bringing them. We are making them registered, putting them into a big college where having 3 to 4 academic blocks were there. We have dedicatedly made it for the migrant laborers, and we took swabs from the point there, and then with our own vehicle we could carry them to the temporary medical shelters or the quarantine centers. So that is why our district was in the green zone till the date of Shramik special train started. So the first case was detected in May 3rd. So from the March 14th to May 3rd, from the lockdown 24th to the May 3rd, there was no case. We are in a green zone. And when the Shramik special trains started coming, so we followed the same strategy of bringing people to one place, making them first the health screening with their thermal scanners, any of the labor having any health, like whether fever or cold, then taking their swabs and sending them to the quarantine centers. So in the quarantine centers, they used to stay for 14 days. then we would thereafter they go to their villages.
That's precisely what the process mostly followed all across the country. But as far as the measures for preparation on digitalization front is concerned
Yes,
post
that will
COVID,
come. Yeah.
that's
Yes,
kind of
I'm just,
unique to all the districts. So can you
yeah,
just
yeah.
talk about that?
Yes, yes, surely, surely. I could proudly say that Jagatsinghpur is the only district, not only in the state, but also one of the few in the country to implement e-office. We have all entire offices of our district covered under e-office. We don't have movement of any physical files in the collectorate, in blocks, in tahsils, in medical offices, in agriculture offices, and it's a great achievement.
So this has happened during COVID, or the plans were there from before?
No, just 1 month before. It's a coincidence actually. 1 month before we just started it, but it's a great help. We didn't know that the pandemic would come, so that has actually helped. And we did not have any movement of our officials coming to our offices. We entirely did the work from home, and none of a single official work till date has hampered. So this is one of the biggest achievement. The e-office that we started in the month of February, we took actually 6 months preparation from the September 2019, but we could make it in the February 2020. But ultimately, it came as a big, immense help and one of the greatest achievement for our district. Secondly, we also developed a dedicated public grievance portal, janasahayog.jspur.org. As you know, it has also nominated. That has also become very handy for the people to lodge their grievance, to people to come forward. Then thirdly, we also developed the all the offices. We made it mandatory that all offices should have the Twitter handle, and
Media as well.
yes, our office is also leads in that. If you could see our Twitter handle, you will see all the public offices, all the blocks, the tahsils, the medical office, the DRDA, the agriculture, the horticulture, veterinary. So all the branches we have the Twitter. So anyone who is having any grievance, immediately it could tweet, and we try to dispose of the grievance within 24 hours of the same day, even within 1 hour also. For example, the quarantine center is not cleaned, the drain is still choked, or the vehicle is stranded. So for the immediate grievance of doing this, and we could immediately do it in within 1 hour. So this is also one of the major digitization process that we have gone through. Then fourth, actually, another important thing that we have done, that we have all this is a WhatsApp group. I think almost all the districts might have also done that in the WhatsApp group, so that we could also the same for our district also.
Well, that sounds very good. Let me at this moment try and introduce some of the members on the expert panel who had an opportunity to interact with a whole lot of you. They are with us today, and let me first introduce Mr. G.B. Panda. He has been very patiently listening to all these stories since morning. I'm sure he will have a question or two to ask. He was with the Planning Commission as the senior advisor. So he has been been on the Scotch Independent Panel of Experts, assessing a whole lot of installations and projects countrywide. We are also joined by Mr. Nirmal Bansal. He's a development banker. He has also been associated with the Scotch Foundation for several years now, and he also has had an opportunity to interact with some of you. Welcome, Mr. Bansal. Thank you for joining us. We have Mr. Surinder Singh Soor with us. He was also with the Planning Commission as its senior advisor until very recently, and he goes back to consult with the Planning Commission. He's been interacting with you as one of those experts. We're also joined by Mr. UK Sharma. He also happens to be formerly with the Planning Commission and its senior advisor capacity, and been very, very conscientious and insightful, and adds a whole lot of value to evaluations that he participates in. So welcome to the summit. We are joined by Mr. Subodh Shukla. He was with the National Informatics Center as a Deputy Director General, and being a technocrat, scientist. The list could be endless if one starts to talk about the achievements that have been done under his leadership. So thank you for joining us. So we soon will be joined by a few more of our members of the jury panel. And as and when they come on board, I will have an opportunity to bring them to you. So please feel free to ask a question. Once we finish interacting with listening to the stories of a couple of more districts, I will invite everyone to have a discussion with everyone. So at this moment, let me invite Dr. Ajit Kumar Mishra, Collector and District Magistrate from District Administration, Mehboob Nagar. This is Nabrangpur. Nabrangpur. Dr. Mishra. So while Dr. Mishra prepares himself, let me move over to Mr. Vivek Bhimanwar, Collector and District Magistrate from District Administration, Wardha. Vivek ji. Vivek ji, we can't hear you. We can see you clearly, but there is no sound coming through.
Yeah, good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Nice. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
You may start, please.
Yeah. May I start now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vivek Bhimanwar, District Magistrate, Wardha. Let me explain something about Wardha. It's a district which is 60 kilometers away from the Nagpur. And the district is surrounded by the three districts, Nagpur, Amravati and Yavatmal, which have a large number of corona positive cases. In fact, even in all these three districts, the central team visited in all the three districts. And as of today, Wardha has the least number of cases in Maharashtra. So our challenge was very big. On one hand, we are surrounded by the red districts. At the same time, with the efforts of and the public participation, we could able to contain the spread in the district. The district has almost 112 entry points. If you take that, there are 16 major points and there are 96 minor roads. So it was a huge challenge, and the boundaries were contagious. So what we did initially, we guarded all the boundaries with the help of the police and the local administration, with the home guard, all that. But then there was another challenge. Although in the lockdown, there was a restriction on the human movement, the goods movement was allowed uninterrupted. Now we did the head count on a particular day. Then we found that nearly 15,000 persons are entering with the 10,000 goods vehicle in the district. Now, even if you can control restrict the human movement, you cannot restrict the goods movement. So what we did, we established some unloading points at the border point, and at the institutions or in the premises of the company where they receive the large number of goods vehicles. Now, what is this unloading point? In the unloading point, we ensure that the persons from the other district, outside the district, will not interact with the person, with the people inside the district. So they will have to get down, their vehicle will be sanitized, and with the help of local helpers, local loaders, we will unload the vehicle. So in the initial stage, we could manage that. We ensure that no one in the district will interact with the person outside the district. I think that has helped a lot in the initial stage. But then there are two more things. I will just briefly mention what was that. there's a large number of students from these districts and the youth, they are working in the Bombay Pune side. And immediately after the lockdown, nearly 70,000 of them came back to the district. So it was a huge challenge because, am I audible or disconnected?
No,
Am
very
I
much
audible? Yeah. So keeping so many people in the institution quarantine is not possible. At the same time, if a person stays in the home, if he alone stays in the home, and rest of the family member they are moving out, they move out, then there is no meaning to the home quarantine. So what we did, we asked them, if you want to be at home, then your entire family need to be quarantined with you. So we introduced the concept of family quarantine. So as a result, what happened? We could able to quarantine the 70,000 persons very successfully. So I think these are the basic three containment measures by which we could stop the spread in the district, and although the adjoining district has a significant number of cases. But now, I mean, as everybody knows, there is a limit to this containment measure. Sooner or later, it is going to enter to the every village, every town, and that's the we see in the last week, the number of cases started rising even in the Wardha district. What is more important is to track the person, trace the person, identify a person, and treat him. Now we have formed about 1,500 teams. For every village there is one team, and for every municipal ward there is one team. So these teams are going house to house. They are taking the temperature, they are carrying the pulse oximeter, and the moment somebody is found symptomatic, he is immediately taken to the nearest healthcare center, or his swab is taken. Now that the antigen has also come. So this is the one side. As a result, you can see the numbers and the figures that we have successfully contained the epidemic. But then this epidemic, we have to make the balance between the health and economy. So merely containing the epidemic is not sufficient. We have to ensure that your economic activity will not hamper. So I'm happy to share that many projects are going on in the district, like the Samruddhi Highway, National Highway, there's the railway work, the dam work. So after the lockdown, when the workers were started migrating, we approached the concessionaire and told them that, see, it is equally important to complete the project. So you do one thing, try to give them some little more wages. So many of them agreed. They agreed to give the 25% more wages, and we could retain nearly 5,000 workers in the district. So as a result, if you see, in the district of Wardha, all major projects they are starting, except for an initial period of 8 to 10 days, no work is stopped, no work is hampered, and we could able to continue the project as per their scheduled line. There was another issue. This is a agrarian district. There is an agrarian distress in the district. The district is known for the farmers' suicide. And the cotton is a big crop here. Nearly 2/3 of the farmers grow cotton. And this was the season when we had to collect the cotton and dispatch it to the Cotton Corporation of India. Now in the lockdown, there was the issue of labor, there was the issue of transportation, there was the issue of go down because the goods were not getting clear. We resolved each and every issue by talking to each and every stakeholder, and I am happy to share that today ours is the only district in the state where 100% cotton is lifted by the CCI. So on one hand, we ensure that we contain the epidemic. At the same time, we are taking the preventive measures like the house-to-house surveillance, and in case the case we're identifying it, and our death rate is less than 2%. There are hardly 2 deaths in and that too for the mainly because of the non-COVID reason. And economic activities are also continuing. There and agricultural activities are also continuing. So I am quite confident that with this cooperation of the people, we will continue. And one last important thing, this district this district is known as the Gandhi district in the world. Gandhiji, he stayed here for a long time, and he fought the freedom struggle, freedom battle from Wardha, and that's what from his Ashram Sevagram. So naturally, we have the blessing of the Gandhiji, and with the people cooperation, I am sure that the district will continue to perform well in the future also. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. So that was, quite an insight into how the district is performing and trying to take control of the situation before, it starts to impact on a large scale. We are joined in between by Dr. Shefali Das. She was the Director General of National Informatics Center, Ministry of IT, and she has also been one of our jurors on the expert panel who helped us identify such beacons of hope and add a whole lot of value by way of her experience sharing with various districts. So thank you very much, Shefali ji, for being with us. You've been here with us since morning. So thanks a ton for being with us. At this moment, if I may ask any of the experts on the panel, if you would like to ask any question to either Vivekji or Ramji.
Hi, Dr. Bhushan.
How are you? Please go ahead.
The question is to you. We understand that Maharashtra is also struggling very badly in the sense to control and contain the COVID, but Wardha, as you are saying, is in a position to contain to an extent. In comparison to entire Maharashtra, where your district stands for,
Sir, you are not clearly, not audible. Can you please repeat, sir?
What I am saying, Maharashtra is very badly affected of COVID.
Yes, sir.
Vardha, you have been doing a good job. So far as containing is concerned, that's very good, very heartening. We would like to understand what sort of model you have adopted so that other districts of Maharashtra can adopt the same and they can contain it.
So there are two things which I will contribute to the success. Number one is, from the day one, it was the view of the government that the goods movement should be uninterrupted. Now, even if the central committee, when they have visited the Bombay and Pune, they have noticed that although we are restricting the human movement, the human movement with the goods vehicle is significant. So we have established the unloading points, whether by which the goods vehicle. Sir, I am audible or disconnected?
Yes, you are. You are audible, pretty much.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as a result, the goods vehicle, they were stopped outside the boundary. There are unloading points established. The persons in the goods vehicle from the other district, they are not allowed to interact with the persons in the with the population of the local number one. The second thing is about the family quarantine, because when large number of persons came to Wardha, no, we cannot keep them in the institution quarantine, because we have seen in many cities that even the institution quarantine, there is a spread of infection within the institution because people don't maintain the distance there. So we told them that you have to be quarantined with your entire family. So even if one person is coming outside the district, his whole family is getting quarantined. So that is the second thing. I think these are the two containment measures which are very useful in the initial day, and now it has become the practice here. So these are the two things which I will I would like the other district to replicate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to ask this. Government of India has started Arogya Setu, and they wanted everybody to use it for monitoring, containment, and all this. But at the same time, other states like Karnataka, they had their own application, local application, which in conjunction with Arogya Setu,
not much, because although we are going house to house and encouraging everyone to download the Arogya Setu, our percentage also reasonably well, not we are very below. But the very fact that if there are no cases, then there is less fear. And when there is less fear, less people are, then they tend to download that app. But still we are making the effort and encouraging everyone to download that.
Good. Thank you very much, Vivekji. And with this, I invite Dr. Ajit Kumar Mishra. District Nabrangpur. Dr. Mishra. We move on to Mr. Kumar Ravi. District.
Can I speak?
Mr. Panna, I'll come back to you.
Jagasingh.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Additional District Magistrate Patna, Rajiv Srivastava. District Magistrate is quite symptomatic, sir. Civil Surgeon is also plasma. Hello. My Civil Surgeon is also COVID-19 positive, sir. May I speak in English?
Yes.
May I speak in Hindi, sir?
Go ahead, speak in Hindi. हिंदी में बात करें, अच्छा लगेगा।
पटना सर एक घनी आबादी वाला सर जिला है और यहाँ सर कोविड के अभी तक 8,130 मामले आए हैं और उसमें से 55% रिकवर भी हुए हैं सर। यहाँ थोड़ा कल्चरली लोग बहुत सारे अवेयर नहीं थे। हम लोगों ने अवेयरनेस के लिए बहुत सारे कैंपेन चलाए और सभी लोगों को गांव में और शहरों में सभी जगह मास्क का मुफ्त वितरण किया गया सर। सभी लोगों को बहुत ही कंटेनमेंट जोन को सही तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट किया, तो उसके कारण सर मामलों में कुछ कमी आई है। क्योंकि इधर हम लोगों ने रैपिड एंटीजन टेस्ट से ज्यादा टेस्ट करवा रहे हैं, तो उसके चलते लोगों में जल्दी जो भी केस है डिटेक्ट हो जा रहे हैं और हम लोग इस कोविड को फैलने से, इस संक्रमण के दायरे को हम लोग कम कर पा रहे हैं सर। हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है हमारा सर कि पटना में ही मेडिकल जितने भी मेरे हब हैं कोविड-19 के, जो भी हॉस्पिटल हैं, पीएमसीएच, एनएमसीएच, जो भी बड़े बड़े हॉस्पिटल हैं, उसमें दूसरे जिले से बहुत सारे मरीज आते रहते हैं सर। तो वो भी एक बड़ा चैलेंज है। हम लोगों ने आइसोलेशन सेंटर बहुत सारे अलग से बनाए हैं, होटल को और स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स को। तो उस तरह से हम लोगों ने 3000 बेड के लिए आइसोलेशन सेंटर की तैयारी की है। उसके अलावा हम लोगों ने डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे रेफरल हॉस्पिटल की पहले सुविधा नहीं थी, तो हम लोगों ने रेफरल हॉस्पिटल
लगता है पटना को कुछ कनेक्टिविटी का भी परेशानी हो रही है। तो जब तक उनकी कनेक्टिविटी वापस आती है, मैं इस बीच में निमंत्रित करता हूं डॉक्टर दानिश सोहेल, जो हेल्थ ऑफिसर हैं संभल डिस्ट्रिक्ट के। डॉक्टर दानिश।
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। मैं डॉक्टर दानिश सोहेल, सर्विलेंस मेडिकल ऑफिसर WHO संभल से। मैं डीएम साहब को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ। डीएम साहब थोड़ा सा किसी मीटिंग की वजह से नहीं आ पाए, तो हो सकता है थोड़ा लेटली हमें ज्वाइन करें, लेकिन तब तक मैं उनको रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ। तो अगर संभल जिले की बात करें सर, तो यहाँ पे शुरू में केसेस तो बहुत शुरू में केसेस तो हमारे पास उतनी फ्रीक्वेंसी में नहीं आए, लेकिन अभी रिसेंटली हमारे केसेस काफी बढ़ गए हैं। तो डायरेक्टली अगर हम बात करते हैं की चैलेंजेस में, तो हमारे जिले में सर सबसे ज्यादा जो बड़ा चैलेंज है वो है शॉर्टेज ऑफ मैन पावर। तो 143 एमओस हमारे सेंशन्ड हैं और उसमें 62 एमओस एट प्रेजेंट हमारे पास हैं मेडिकल ऑफिसर्स। ऐसे ही सर 250 अराउंड एएनएम सेंशन्ड है और 200 हमारे पास ग्राउंड में वर्किंग है। जो अभी हमें कोविड के दौरान स्वीपर्स और इन सब की जरूरत पड़ रही थी, वो भी सर हमारे पास काफी पर्याप्त मात्रा में नहीं है, बहुत शॉर्टेज है उसकी। ऐसे सर एक बहुत बड़ा हमारे पास की चैलेंज है जो है, क्योंकि हमारा जिला बहुत नया बना है, 2011 में बना है और बड़े जिलों के छोटे छोटे ब्लॉक्स हैं उनको कंबाइन करके बना है जो उनके हार्डशिप एरियाज थे। तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का वार्ड बना सकें या कोविड हॉस्पिटल बना सकें, ऐसे कोई स्कूल्स भी बहुत हमारे पास लिमिटेड हैं और छोटे स्कूल्स हैं, छोटे क्वांटिटी में हैं। एक सर बहुत बड़ा इशू है कि हमारी पॉपुलेशन अगर देखा जाए तो 25 लाख के अराउंड है, लेकिन उसमें 20 लाख रूरल पॉपुलेशन है। और टोटल जो हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अगर हम लिटरेसी रेट की बात करें तो लिटरेसी रेट 55% ही हो रहा है हमारा पूरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट का। तो ये बड़ा गैप है कि हम कैसे कम्युनिकेट करें, और एक लिटरेसी रेट से भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है कि लोगों का क्या एटीट्यूड है किसी भी बीमारी को लेके, सब हम लोग जानते हैं। तो एक ये बड़ा एक हमारा गैप है। दूसरा एक इशू है कि सर हमारे यहाँ रिवर्स माइग्रेशन का बहुत इशू है, क्योंकि जिला काफी अंडर डेवलप्ड है एक तरह से, और बहुत से लोग जो अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए आसपास के जो जिले हैं उसमें जाते हैं जॉब करने। कुछ लोग सुबह शाम मतलब अप डाउन करते हैं, कुछ लोग परमानेंटली वहीं रहते हैं, जैसे दिल्ली हो गया, गाजियाबाद हो गया, मुरादाबाद एंड अलीगढ़, डिफरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स। तो ये हमारे मेजर चैलेंजेस थे जिन्हें हमने फेस करा कोविड के स्टार्ट से ही। तो अगर बात करें इनके लाइन से सॉल्यूशंस की, तो जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में और खासकर एचआर में हम उतना ज्यादा नहीं कर सके कि हम कहीं से अरेंज करते प्राइवेट, लेकिन जितना कोशिश करा हमने, जो हमें स्टेट से ऑर्डर्स आए कि आप एलटीज ले सकते हैं या आप डेटा हैंडलर्स ले सकते हैं, तो हमने इधर उधर से हायर करे। कुछ हमने अदर स्टेट से भी हमने अदर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से भी हायर मतलब अपने डिप्लॉयमेंट पे डॉक्टर्स लिए हैं, स्पेशली डॉक्टर्स। अदर डिपार्टमेंट से हमने काफी स्वीपर्स अरेंज करे अपने यहाँ जो हमारे कोविड हॉस्पिटल में रह सकें। अगर हम बात करें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की सर, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था कि हमारे पास कोई मल्टी स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल्स नहीं है कि हम डायरेक्टली उन्हें कन्वर्ट कर दें, तो हमें ये बड़ा एक चैलेंज हुआ था। और हमने इसको ऐसे थोड़ा सॉर्ट आउट करा कि हमें बिल्कुल स्टार्ट से, बिल्कुल फ्रेश स्टार्ट से जो स्कूल्स हैं उनको हमें अपना कोविड हॉस्पिटल बनाना पड़ा। और ऐसे ही बहुत सारे हमारे यहाँ जो आश्रय थे या जो नॉर्मल शेल्टर हाउसेस होते हैं उनको हमने अपने क्वारंटाइन सेंटर बनाया, जो इनिशियली क्वारंटाइन का एक कॉन्सेप्ट था। तो इसको हमने ऐसे डील करा। फिर जो जैसे मैंने लिटरेसी रेट और उसकी बात करी रूरल पॉपुलेशन की, तो उसमें सर अवेयरनेस का हमने मतलब काफी उसमें इनपुट दिया। जो अवेयरनेस कैंपेन्स हैं तो वो लार्ज स्केल पे डिफरेंट विलेजेस में अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स के थ्रू कराया गया। उसमें इन्वॉल्व करा गया रिलीजियस लीडर्स को। बहुत सारे जो मॉस्क हैं और मंदिर हैं उनमें अनाउंसमेंट भी करे गए, ताकि जो लोकल पब्लिक है वो इसको समझे कि भाई अभी नमाज की इतनी इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं है, मतलब घर पे है, एक जगह कम्युनिटी में नहीं है, और उसको जाएंगे तो स्प्रेड उतना ही ज्यादा होगा। तो ये सब रिलीजियस लीडर्स ने अपने बहुत सारे अच्छे हमें रिटन में मैसेजेस भी दिए, ऑनलाइन टीवी पे भी, न्यूज़ में भी आया, और मस्जिद और मंदिरों के थ्रू भी उन्होंने ये बातें पब्लिक में कही। उसके अलावा जो जनरल चीजें होती हैं जैसे रिक्शा पे माइकिंग, एलईडी वैन, और इन सब माध्यमों से हमने गांव-गांव पहुंचे, अपने पब्लिक को रीच करा। और इसके अलावा सर हम लोगों ने अभी रिसेंटली यूपी में, वैसे तो स्टेट का ही एक इनिशिएटिव था, लेकिन उसको एक विशेष सर्वेलेंस अभियान का आयोजित किया था अगस्त की स्टार्टिंग में 5 से। तो उसमें 10 दिन हमने रिगुलरली अपनी टीम्स को भेजा घर घर, और वहां पे उन्होंने उनका जो ILI और सारी के जो केसेस थे या जो सिम्टोमेटिक लोग थे उनका उन्होंने एक सूची तैयार करी। उसके बेसिस पे उनका सैम्पलिंग एंड ऑल वो हुआ, और जब उन्होंने वो रीच करा तो वहाँ हर घर पे पोस्टर लगाया गया। कोविड के बारे में जितनी अवेयरनेस फैला सकते थे हम, वो सब फैलाई गई। उसके अलावा डीएम सर या और जो रेपुटेटेड लोग हैं उनके द्वारा जो व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस हैं वो फ्लो में लेके आए गए। हर आदमी व्हाट्सएप नहीं यूज कर सकता यहाँ पे, तो ये कोशिश करी गई कि रेडियो के माध्यम से ये मैसेजेस पहुंचाए जाएं कम्युनिटी को। तो काफी अवेयरनेस पे हम लोगों ने फोकस करा। एक सर जैसे मैंने शुरू में बताया था कि हमारे रिवर्स माइग्रेंट का एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है, और काफी संख्या में हमारे लोग वापस आए बहुत से जिलों से, और काफी इन्फेक्ट होके भी आए, सिम्टोमेटिक होके आए। तो हमने उसके लिए एक अलग से प्राविधान बनाया कि जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट जो बॉर्डर्स हैं वहां पे हमने अपनी RRT टीम्स बैठाई जो सुबह शाम काम करती थी। उसके अलावा गाँव में भी एक RRT टीम बैठाई, जो अगर वहां से हमारे पास जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर से हमारे पास कोई कांटेक्ट आता था कि कोई बाहर से कोई माइग्रेंट आया है, तो हमारी टीम
आपने इसमें ICT टूल्स का कहाँ पे इस्तेमाल किया, अपार्ट फ्रॉम IC जो आपने इंफॉर्मेशन एजुकेशन कम्युनिकेशन किया, उसके अलावा सोशल मीडिया का कहीं इस्तेमाल हुआ या फिर लोगों को किस तरीके से बताया गया, क्योंकि एक कम्युनिकेशन एक ऐसा साधन था जिसमें कि लोगों को तैयार किया गया था।
जी जी, जैसे मैंने सर बताया कि हमने रेडियो का इसमें इस्तेमाल लिया। जो माइकिंग है, जो रिक्शा है, रिक्शे पे माइक लगा के, पोस्टर्स लगा के, उसके थ्रू हमने जो जनरल जगहें हैं, जो मेन जो आप कहेंगे बड़े प्लेस जहाँ पे मास में लोग जमा होते हैं या उस टाइप से, वहाँ पे हमने इसको ऑटो रिक्शा चलाए। उसके अलावा सर जो और LED वैन सर चलाई गई। तो ये सर सब चीजों के थ्रू हमने IC को जितना मोटिवेट कर सके। और जैसे मैंने बताया कि विशेष सर्वेलेंस अभियान के थ्रू एक घर पे
मैं निमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा इस पे श्री जीवी पांडा जो एक सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं।
ये जो माध्यम आप हेलो
जी सर,
जो आपने ये जो मीडियम्स यूज किए हैं तो रूरल हिंटरलैंड तक पहुंची है, उसको अगर पहुंची तो उसका प्रभाव कैसे एसेस किया आपने, कैसे कह सकते हैं कि जो हमने जो प्रोपोगेट किए, एडवर्टाइज किए, रीच आउट हुआ है, जो भी कम्युनिकेशन डेवलप किए, उसका कितना तो आपको कोविड के ऊपर कितना कंट्रोल किया गया, उसका इससे कुछ स्टडी आया?
सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी कट रही थी, लेकिन जितना मैं समझ पाया वो ये है क्वेश्चन आपका कि जो हमने कम्युनिकेशन एक्टिविटीज को यूज करा उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा, उसका एनालिसिस कोई अगर हमारे पास हो तो सर बिल्कुल उसका बहुत इम्पैक्ट पड़ा। जैसे मैंने बताया कि हमने एक एक घर रीच करा अपने आशा आंगनवाड़ी के द्वारा, और हर घर पे सर पोस्टर लगाया गया। पोस्टर में इंडिकेशंस थे कि डूज एंड डोंट्स थे मेंशन कि क्या करना है कोविड से, कैसे बचना है। और उसके अलावा सर उसमें एक हेल्पलाइन नंबर था। तो जैसे कि बहुत से लोग शुरू में हमने देखा कि जब हम अवेयरनेस फैला रहे थे इसके बारे में, कोविड के बारे में उन्हें ज्यादा अवेयरनेस नहीं थी, सबको ये डर लग रहा था कि उठा के उनको आइसोलेशन सेंटर में डाल दिया जाएगा। तो अब जब से सर आपकी आवाज
आपका कम्युनिकेशन में थोड़ा परेशानी हो रहा है, सुन नहीं पा रहे हैं, तो
सर मेरी तरफ से
थोड़ी देर में आपके पास दोबारा वापस आए। तो हमारे साथ श्री भूषण मोहन, ये भी स्कॉट के साथ जुड़े हुए हमारे इंडिपेंडेंट एक्सपर्ट हैं, जो कि हमें वक्त वक्त पर अपने टैलेंट का इजाफा देते रहे हैं असेसमेंट के लिए। तो मैं उनका भी अभिनंदन करता हूँ, वो भी हमारे साथ हैं सुबह से। तो भूषण जी, आप सवाल पूछना चाहेंगे? आप अनम्यूट करें अपने आप को। You have to unmute yourself.
हाँ, मैं कुछ कमेंट्स देना चाहूँगा। तो मैं काफ़ी ये प्रेजेंटेशंस अभी देख रहा हूँ, और आज एक सुबह बड़ी अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन हुई थी प्रोफेसर प्रजापति त्रिपाठी की। तो एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है जो मैं सबसे शेयर करना चाहता हूँ, और ये मैंने अपने पहले भी बहुतों को ये बोला है। जब हम अपनी अचीवमेंट्स बतलाते हैं, हम बड़ी सब्जेक्टिवली बतलाते हैं, हम ऑब्जेक्टिवली नहीं बतलाते। So what I would really like to come up, and it just reminds me of the point number 2 or point number 3, is that we should measure. और ये measurement जो है, that's an extremely important thing. Measurement is both what we have done and what we have not been able to do. So it is not just what all we have done, but what is the total percentage what was supposed to be done and how much we have achieved. So percentage wise of whatever are the goals which have been achieved is extremely important for each achievement. That will really bring lot of improvement in our work as we go along.
That's true. You know, I think that's a very valid point which Bhushan ji you have made, by way of saying that our achievements, we should be talking about as to how I did it rather than just what I did.
Yes, yes.
There is a learning in how. What is something, by way of information, it gets disseminated.
Yes.
But integral to it is the process. And these processes are the ones, which become replicable when shared with others.
And to see the effectiveness of the process are the measurements which go into that.
Correct.
So, अब जैसे हमारा कोविड का हम आजकल काफी बात कर रहे हैं, it is very few districts or states which have talked about कि in the present circumstances, after they have taken all the efforts, what is their positivity rate on the testing? What is the growth rate? What is the growth rate in the active cases? What is the growth rate in the recovered cases? So these are the things. How much of their percentage facilities have been utilized? अगर आपने ICU सेट्स करे हैं, आपने हॉस्पिटल बेड सेटअप करे हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर, तो with so many cases, how much is the utilization of those? This will help to plan further. You don't know that there may be a phase 2 or a phase 3 coming in October or November. Or for example, like in Andhra, it's already gone and exceeded the previous record. So whatever planning they had done, it's all gone haywire. So those are the things which will help us to work out for the future.
Absolutely. Fantastic inputs. Thank you so much. So we are joined now by Dr. Ajit Kumar Mishra from Nabrangpur. Kindly go ahead. Nabrangpur. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Mishra. Yeah. Dr. Mishra. Your video is freeze. It's frozen once again. Dr. Mishra, we are waiting for you. Looks like the connectivity still remains a problem at his end. Dr. Mishra, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think he got dropped off because of poor connectivity. Well, so we can continue on the discussion, and I invite at this moment Mr. Surinder Singh, who has also been the expert panel of jurors for Scotch Award, for his expert comments.
Thank you, Gulsharanji. I would like to say that so many presentations we have seen from the different districts and different states. The learning thing over here is that whatever we do best in our state, these examples should be taken by the other districts or other states for application. Because our system in the state system, especially in districts, it is very, very difficult to implement the things. In the forenoon, we how to implement the things in a greater depth. So what I think is the forum like Scotch is a very good medium, so that the good practice can be learned very easily and go to the different states. So, and on ground level, our adoption has increased a lot. Adoption in the sense that previously the government agencies were not really interested to private players or integrate NGOs or other agencies to work with the government. Now it is being seen that the government agencies have also started welcoming the private players, and so that there is a good integration in between the government and the private players. So I think it's a very good thing for our country at last level, at last mile, to provide the last mile connectivity, or you can say to provide services at the last end of our country. It's a very good thing happening in our country, and we should appreciate the efforts of Scotch, that it has become a very good, very powerful medium. I worked in Niti Aayog for over 21 years, and as also mentioned that we started this online discussions in so now the private players are also taking initiative for this type of connectivity, and now we are getting to different agencies like health, industry, power at grassroots level, so that we can understand what is happening in far-flung areas. And this becomes a very good example what is happening near to Delhi or near to big cities, and what is happening at far-flung areas where connectivity was previously an issue. It's a very good effort by
Thank you so much. Excellent. We will try once again with Dr. Ajit Kumar Mishra. Let's see if we can connect with him now. Dr. Mishra, can you hear us? Can you hear me? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. There was a net connectivity problem, sir. Anyway, somehow that we got connected, sir. So really, it's a great opportunity again. So the district faced a lot of challenges. About 8 to 9 challenges I'll be telling, and the delivery part also I'll be telling you, sir. Really, in this pandemic, COVID-19, the whole life has been upset. Especially mine is a tribal district, simple common man, cutting across all the sections of the society. The challenge from the service delivery point of view, the challenge from the hard to reach areas, because it's a hilly terrain and also LWE affected districts, sir. The challenge for the food inflation also. We had to provide the food security, especially to the sick, old, indigent, and also the reverse migrants. The challenge for the institutional quarantine, that was also a big challenge, because we were not at all experienced about such type of things earlier as in everywhere. The challenge of the IC activities, how to use the mask, how to have the social distance, how to have avoid the social gathering, etc., etc. The rituals, the traditional customary approach, how to get rid of all these things in this pandemic situation, sir. And the challenge of most important part is also the challenge of the transportation of the migrants, reverse migrants, because my district have no railhead. Incidentally, I had to depend on other districts where the railheads are there. And wherever these special trains came, I had to deploy my officers to bring the migrants. Around 16,000 and plus migrants have been brought in a period of only 20 to 25 days, sir. Then the challenge of keeping the reverse migrants and also having the symptomatic cases in the institutional quarantine centers where the PRI members, especially the sarpanches, had been empowered. The challenge of also scaling up the this TMC, COVID health care centers, COVID these quarantine centers, and also the COVID care centers, and also the COVID health centers. And also the challenge at the border checking points, because my district is a porous border having 429 kilometers with the bordering this Chhattisgarh states. So with these challenges, I had to do a lot of activities, and because ultimately we have to live with the COVID till the vaccination and whatever the preventive part is to be will be coming. And this livelihood part has also been taken care of, sir. And let me be honest, that today the district tops so far as the livelihood of the MG Narega is concerned. The Mendes generated is about 34 lakhs, and 89 crore have gone directly to the bank account of these unskilled migrant laborers. And so far as the skill mapping of the specifically these reverse migrants are concerned, that skill mapping has been done. And our challenge were from 3 fronts. Number one, what kind of institutions were to be provided to these migrants? And we have mapped up in such a manner so that they will be engaged, so that our youth and the unemployed will be imparted training by them, because they have worked in Hyderabad, they had worked in Gujarat, they had worked in Bangalore, and they had some specialization so far as their skill is concerned. So I wanted that so far as my district youth and the unemployed are concerned, they should get the experience from them. And the third challenge is that how within the existing resources, how they can be utilized and how they can be best utilized in the manner that they will have their livelihood, and simultaneously this some product will be coming up. So in that aspect, we have taken up some of the activities so far as the MSME and with our GM, DIC, and also with the OLM sector is concerned. And now coming to the different activities, sir, let me tell honestly that so far as our team effort with the 19,000 or odd women self-help group is concerned, because ultimately in this digitized form, so far as the communication is concerned, let me be very honest, our health secretary, chief secretary, SRC, whatever the information that is being passed on to the district level is being immediately transmitted to the block and also to the GP, so that the information flow is in such a manner that there is no break. And whatever the latest informations are coming so far as the COVID management is concerned, so far as different guidelines and instructions are to be implemented in the field, that is being done in the right earnest. And I have developed a mechanism in such a manner, sir, that I have 10 district nodal officers who used to coordinate with the 10 BDOs and 10 tahsils of the districts, and the information used to pass on. The WhatsApp group is there, the social media is there, and I must be thankful so far as the media personnel is concerned. The district has about 167 registered, identified print media and electronic media persons, and we have a very good helping hand with them, because they used to also disseminate the information, so that whatever the feedback used to come, that feedback used to transmit it. And besides, we have also the NGO partners. For the 10 blocks, we have identified 20 NGO partners, and they used to disseminate, because it's a big district and also a difficult hilly terrain, and also forest, 49% of the district covers the forest land. So in this manner, we have tried to manage the pandemic COVID-19. And let me be very honest and tell you, sir, as per the clarion call by the Honorable Chief Minister, the collector's power has been conferred on the sarpanches. So far as the Epidemic Act is concerned and the Disaster Management Act 2005 is concerned, so that they are empowered to see that whosoever does any mistake, so that he is taken to task there, and the police and the civil administration used to respond immediately. So it is a team effort. And in the district, we have as many as 189 COVID health home. We have 36 number of these cluster temporary medical centers where the people can be brought and be kept so far as the symptomatic cases are concerned. And
Mishra,
so far
how about the digitalization?
Yes, sir.
How about the digitalization part?
Sir, so far as the digitalization part is concerned, the social media, so far as our WhatsApp group is concerned, and as I told you, sir, the information passing from the state level to the district level is being transmitted down below to the grassroots, that is the Gram Panchayat level. And the village ward committee have been empowered. And the ward committee comprises of the ward member and women self-help group, the ANM, ASA, and the Anganwadi center. So wherever any such SARI or the ILI cases or any other symptomatic cases are found out, those are being transmitted immediately to the cluster TMC. And our 30 mobile team, they used to move around and they used to immediately render whatever the necessary health services are concerned. Nice. And let me tell you, sir, so far as this food inflation part is concerned, we had free kitchen for 2 months. And as many as 77 lakhs people were given free food so far as the sick, indigent, and also the old people are concerned. And accordingly, our management was quite perfect.
At this juncture, bring in Mr. Subodh Shukla, one of our members on the expert panel, also from, as I said earlier, from National Informatics Center, Ministry of IT, for his comments and in case he has a question. Mr. Shukla.
Yeah. Namaste to all. Yeah, I know that you people have been working in very difficult circumstances. So generally, we tend to hear how you have done your job, in the sense that how you have controlled the spread of COVID and how you have taken care of the evolving scenario. A question which is in my mind now, because now we are about 3-4 months into this pandemic. Looking back, do you think that something could have been done better or something could have been done differently? If you have any of those observations, you may like to share them with us.
Sir, this is definitely a different type of situation, because we are not accustomed to this type of scenario. Because with the return migrants, and especially when the normal life has been disrupted, we have to think of the livelihood part, because ultimately we have to live with the COVID, sir. and taking into consideration the livelihood part, my focus is on, not only my focus, our focus should be wherever the sectors are concerned, government or non-government, we should emphasize on the livelihood part. And for so far as the government part is concerned, let me tell you, sir, as I was telling, NREGA, that is, sky is the limit, and a lot of things can be done. And under NREGA, when my district was hardly doing per day Mendes generation.
Looks like
I think, yeah, we have lost connection with him.
Again has gone into the communication distress mode. So
I also
want to add something.
Yeah,
I completely agree with the respected expert what he said, that what could have been done, because if you see this pandemic, the spread is not even everywhere. Rather, it's a very skewed. In one district, in one part of the country, it's very high, and in the other part of the country, in the other district, it's very high. So certainly, there is a way to control it. I mean, although you cannot stop it, so I think there are two things which are very important. All these best practices should be shared with the other districts as early as possible, because what the districts and the states, they are working in SALU. That is number one. And number two, if you see the countries or the states or the cities where the scale is very less, epidemic has affected in a lesser, I would say, number, it's mainly because of the public awareness. So it's the state has to more focus upon the awareness and the education, because it is only that part of the world where the people are cooperating, people are following the norms, the pandemic is in control.
Yes, I agree with you. And I have, I don't know whether you heard the presentation in the morning. There was a presentation by Mr. Trivedi, who had been, assessing the performance outcomes as part of the demo. He said that in this pandemic, communication is a very important, very important factor. And if you can communicate well, it is going to be that much more effective. Your strategies are going to be more effective.
Boji, there is a very important element here. Communication is extremely important, which is what has been the backbone, particularly at the districts, because they were taking this message to the people. But more importantly, the documentation of the entire process is more important. We can feel that this is the only guiding force that will be available for the generations to come. God knows if this pandemic is going to stay with us for how long. But the processes which are being created as a result of response to COVID are something which is going to guide my successors.
And moreover, new pandemics may come.
Correct.
You don't know, yeah.
We are faced with a situation wherein there could be 1 or 2 pandemics every year. But now we know what should be our response to a situation as unprecedented as this one.
So, Gulshan, I have one question, one last question.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone mentioned that there is a digital divide growing between people who don't have access to digital communication or digital, devices and digital modes of communication, and people who have access. So, how are we planning to address this? Does anyone have any ideas? I would like to answer, pose this question to the district magistrates and the commissioners who are attending this.
I will hold your question for the next session, because then we are joined by another set of DCs and the city commissioners, so that this question could be answered in its totality and everyone has the benefit. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for giving your inputs and joining us for this panel discussion. Take